that I was going to cheer, but thank you, committee. Thank you to all of the professors. And as a superintendent, I would especially like to say how much we appreciate the teacher preparation that's going on at Auburn University and universities around the country, because we know there are sometimes shortages in our profession, and so when we can get quality educators out of universities such as Auburn, it is a huge benefit to our kids. 20 years ago, I sat where some of you are sitting and dreamed about my classroom and wondered if people would even like me as a teacher. That's a big deal as a young educator, and hoped I would get a job. That's also a big deal. But since then, I've had several stops in education in several different school districts, and I've been blessed to be in some fine school districts in my career. But throughout that, more than the school districts I was in, and more than how much resources or lack of resources or the curriculum instruction, I found that in true leadership, really what matters is relationships. And a lot of that started at Auburn with professors and people who invested in you and people who cared about you and let you know that they were supporting you and they were on your side and they were on your team. And so, in educational leadership, that is no different. I've had mentors such as John Mullins, who's now the superintendent of Abraham City Schools, who believed in me as an educator. I wanted to be a pharmacist. He was like, "That's crazy. You need to be an educator." And I was like, "Money, that's all you think about." And he kept calling me as a freshman, saying, "When are you going to go into education? When are you going to go into education?" As a high school principal, and he encouraged me all along the way because he saw something in me that he thought I should, pursue this path. And so to him and Patty Neal, who was on my committee at Sanford, and educators such as Kathy Long, who nominated me for this award, and Don Hewlin and David Fancher, all of these people invested in my life all along the way as educational leaders. And that's why I'm here today, is because people cared and they invested in me all along the way. I have friends who know more about education than they ever cared about knowing, because that's the topic. That's all we talk about. And so to them and to my students and my teachers, faculty and staff who, I do believe are a family. Everywhere I've gone, we've had that family atmosphere, and that is so important to kids, and building those relationships and let them know that they're appreciated and let them know that they matter. That's very important to me. And to my family, my parents who, supported me all along the way. My grandmother's here today. All of them taught me to believe in Auburn and love it, from a young age. We're here in Roland Hoover's corner. And so Auburn's always been a part of my life, but, even with them, setting high expectations, letting me know that success doesn't come easy, and if it did come easy, everyone would be successful. So to my parents, I thank you for your unconditional love. My grandmother's here, 90 years old, still here with the War Eagle. So, just that whole family atmosphere that I've always been blessed for has been very essential in my life. And my husband, who fills in the gaps. As a superintendent, I don't even know who plays that night. I don't know. I'm just, here and there. And so he's giving me a daily schedule of who's playing that night and what's going on. On bad days, he's bringing me Diet Mountain Dew so that everybody makes it till 5 o'clock. So, to him, he's always on my side. He's on my team. And I cannot say enough. And my boys who, if you've ever been in education, you know that they share a mama with 1,600 people. And so sometimes they have to make sacrifices. And so sometimes they have to learn about servant leadership and getting up in the middle of the night, going to help a kid. And, all of those things that happen when you're a mama and a leader. So I appreciate them. I love them. They're my joy. It's hard to say. But I appreciate it. And most of all, to the Lord Jesus Christ, who, without gifts and talents that are given from Him, I would not be here today. My favorite verse in the Bible is Jeremiah 29:11. And I do believe that not only does God provide hope for a future, but we as educators can provide hope for a future too. And our motto at Hill City Schools is serve, lead, inspire. And I just pray that at the end of the day, I have done some of those things for our kids. So I accept this award on behalf of all of you and all the people in my life who have stood in the gaps and supported and loved me along the way. So, War Eagle, thank you.